Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Traffic Zero, and we're playing Bayonetta on the Wii U. So this is Chapter 2 of Vigrid, the City of Deja Vu. And yeah, as you can see from the runtime of this video, this chapter is quite long. It's got about 20 minutes worth of gameplay, and then there are several cutscenes, and they're quite lengthy as well. So yeah, like I said before, the chapters in and of themselves, they can be quite lengthy, and I quite like that about the game. I'm not sure what that, if that's necessarily healthy for the YouTube channel, but yeah, I'm uploading the 40 minutes. So here's Jeanne again on her motorcycle. She's apparently she's fighting angels too. Now, if you remember, Bayonetta was doing it because she has a pact with the demon, and she kind of has to, you know, hunt for halos and things like that to satisfy her pact. And yeah, I guess Jeanne is fighting angels too for some reason. Yeah, and the action in the scene is quite silly. You know, if you want to see some motorcycle foo, try watching a show called Gare Zero. It was on Netflix a few years ago. It was quite the bizarre show, but I liked the story a lot. It's just that the characters introduced in the first episode, that the show kind of handles that a little weird. just so you know, you're gonna be in for a surprise. But anyway, so since the cutscenes in this chapter are so long, I'm going to go ahead and pause my narration for the moment, go ahead and let you watch the scene, and I'll come back in for the gameplay in a second.
You've already disappointed me. This is a moment I've long desired. But you've forgotten your destiny and wasted the past 20 years.
You're right. I do seem to be having trouble remembering things of late. Would you be so kind as to take it from the top?
Two overseers, the eyes of the world. They are the power behind everything.
Jeanne, as heir to the clan, the time has come for you to prove your right to fight under the Umbran name. You may select opponents of your choice.
Then allow me to face the outcast.
None. Helen Kiadagat. The child is of impure blood. Challenging her would be a violation of our tenets of faith.
It would not be the first time we faced each other.
Jared?
Will you face me in this hallowed arena?
Well, if I must. But I pray you've got a little something for me in return. You know, I'm very fond of stuffed animals.
Okay, here we go. So this is our first fight with Jeanne, and as you can see, she's quite nimble and hard to catch. So what's going on here is that, like from their conversation, you can tell that Bayonetta, she hasn't really awakened to all of the powers she can really use. And what this fight is demonstrating is her use of Witch Walk, which, when, I guess when the full moon's out, a witch can kind of use that power to kind of walk on any surface as though it's the ground. Yeah, so dang it. Yeah, so since the last chapter, I do have quite a few upgrades. So you can see my health bar is a lot longer. I have more magic orbs. And I do have some equipment on. I forgot what one of the pieces is called, but every time I get hit, it automatically activates Witch Time. And I also have the Moon of Mahakala, which allows me to parry. And yeah, this fight's it's a little tricky, but I found a good way to hit John is if you use the punch, punch, kick, kick, kick combo. It uses, it actually allows you to do 2 wicked weaves, like at the end of the combo, and she has a really hard time dodging those, so I think that's a pretty reliable way to hit her. It's just that, that fight, the camera is a little wonky, so yeah, the only problem is trying to catch her. Yeah, so if you break that statue, you'll get a broken witch heart. I've already grabbed it, so it's just coming out as halos. And here it's introducing a new enemy, so we've seen these little flying baby heads before. And here's their papa. God, what are these things called? Deer and decorations. Yeah, so it can shoot, so make sure you actually dodge that. It's like it really is coming at you. Yeah, I really like how they do like the angel like introductions in this game. It just feels like really epic. Yeah, so in addition to the deer and decorations, we've got all kinds of things coming after us here. Yeah, so I'm still using the same weapons as I was in the previous chapter. I've got the Scarborough Fair on my hands and the shotguns on my feet. God, how did that guy wander so far away? Great, they're so far away I can't even grab the halos. Alright, so we're using our witch walk to walk along the side of this building. And of course, Witch Walk doesn't work when the moon's not out, so... Okay, so we're going to go through this door. And here are these statues again, which will activate Witch Time. Okay, so as you can see here, it gives you 10 seconds. You don't want to activate it right away, so we want to hit this door a little bit, and then activate Witch Time. Ah, God. Really? Did I mess that up? God damn it. Alright, let's run back to the statues. God damn it. Okay, let's see if we can avoid fucking up this time. Yeah, the reason you need Witch Time is this gate will actually close really fast if you don't have time slowed down. Okay, so here we're in the middle of the city, and here's a treasure box. I think it's like always a bullet no matter what. It wasn't ever any other item. So if you run over here and jump like up right, up right there, that's a broken witch heart. So if you collect enough of those, it will increase your HP gauge. Okay, and here's another cutscene to introduce another one of the characters. Yeah, so this is Luca. He, well, honestly, I find him really annoying. Yeah, he's actually a bit of a comedic relief character, and honestly, it's a little... I can see how it's a little hard to handle the characters in this game because Bayonetta herself is just so bizarre and also just so, like, she is just such a badass. It's really hard to make characters that mesh well with her. And I'd say Luca definitely does not mesh well with her, but he's, I suppose, quite important to the story. Yeah, and another weird thing is that, you know how Bayonetta is like almost 8 feet tall with her crazy proportions? Well, Luca is taller than her. So, yeah. Bugger, huh? Yeah, people use that word a lot, but do you guys have any idea what that means? Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Don't look it up at work.
Fleur de ciré eau de parfum.
Alright guys, I'll let you watch the rest of this scene and I'll come back to the gameplay.
Subtle hints of rosemary. You know, in the language of flowers, rosemary equates to remembrance. Which doesn't quite equate to you, now does it? Bayonetta. Shit! Will you stop that?
That little Bayonetta was a nice touch. Seeing you here, I suppose it wasn't the only one. You've certainly bloomed, haven't you, my little Cheshire puss?
I'm not your pet. The name is Luca. A name you'd better remember. Ah! Shit! Damn it! Wait! You can't just run away from me like that! I know what I saw that day! I know all about your kind. Sure, my colleagues laugh at me for chasing fairy tales, amongst other things. But I know they're real. I know the truth. The smell. The same smell that clung to the air the day my father was murdered. Which means I'm right on your doorstep, Bayonetta.
I'll let you in on a little secret, Cheshire.
The name is Luke.
You need to hone your sense of smell, my dear.
There's no rosemary in the perfume. After all, rosemary's a demon repellent.
Alright, so we got a whole gang. Whoa. Did somebody just shoot me? Or shoot at me? I didn't even notice that like while I was playing this. Yeah, so we got a whole gang of angels here, and we're just gonna let's see. So I'm gonna grab this staff because it is just so great for increasing your meter. God damn it. Yeah, I'm really out of practice at this stuff. He just went spinning after I kicked him. That's just awesome. God, that is just such a great attack. Alright, so our beloved showed up here, and yeah, don't worry, you don't have to do too much to him. Like, I think if you take down his health to about maybe 40% or less, he's gonna run away. Now, there's still plenty of other angels here, so watch out for those too. Whoa. God, they're just like shooting at me from a distance. What the heck? Alright, there he goes. Yeah, and your options for, wow, your options for closing distance right now are a little limited. Yeah, sometimes when I'm in the air, like, I don't know, it's kind of weird trying to get back to the ground and start attacking enemies. Yeah, and be careful if you damage an enemy, like, really badly and leave them alive, because that often causes them to be enraged, and when that happens, they attack twice as fast. Yeah, so I blocked that attack using the parry. You can only parry if you equip an accessory called the Moon of Mahakala. And yeah, the parry mechanic is really interesting because,
You only run away so
well,
fast because
it basically
you've got something
always
to run
works no
from.
matter what direction you're facing or what you're
Can't
doing.
escape
So
me
you can
forever.
basically dodge and parry and kind of attack simultaneously. So that's interesting. Yeah, so you can parry by pressing the left stick in the direction of an attack. And if you time it properly, it actually, one, it activates witch time, and two, you actually get in a counter attack. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this chapter is actually, it's quite a bit more difficult than the previous one. So you can expect to see me getting hit quite a few times and all that type of stuff. Okay, so I believe there are a few more treasure chests, but yeah, I'm not really going to mind them. So if you want to proceed, head through this tunnel, and you'll see some trolleys. And we're just going to follow this trolley over to where we're going to need to go. Okay, so this trolley is out of control. Just jump over it, you'll be fine. And it's going to introduce a new enemy. What are these? I think they're enchants. And man, I fucking hate these things. They're just really annoying to fight. Okay, and that is an attack, so dodge and get the fuck out of the way of that. Yeah, and there are just 3 of them. Luckily, this angel arm will basically one-shot all of them, so yeah, that's why I grabbed it, because I fucking hate fighting these things. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're actually backtracking a little bit to see this Alfheim that unlocked. This is where the burning trolley came from. Okay, so which Alfheim was this? I don't quite remember. Okay, limited kicks and punches. Okay, so basically you have to take out this enemy using, well, just only 7 punches and 6 kicks. Whoops, I kind of messed that up. So what you want to do is do your best to let him attack first so you can activate Witch Time. That way you can increase the damage you do. Oops. God. Oh, man. Yeah, and try not to get hit. Yeah, you don't have a lot of time to do this, so I think we're probably going to run out of time. Yeah, so what you really should try to do is dodge all of his attacks with good timing so you get Witch Time. And then you want to be able to go through your combo and use a Wicked Weave, because, you know, you need to do as much damage as possible. And also, when you attack, hold down the button so you can get off as many bullets as possible. So you actually fucked that up. So let's see if we can try that again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the one I messed up last time. 5. Okay, when you Wicked Weave, you can press kick after that. And wow, it actually didn't count as a kick. That's cool. Okay, and when you do the triple kick combo, make sure you hold the last kick to do more damage. Alright, got him.
I've got a fever.
Yeah, that's the long taunt. You do that by holding down the taunt button, and that will come into play later in the chapter, but yeah, I'll point that out when we get to it. Okay. Yeah, these angel arms can be pretty useful, but the issue with them in this game is that if you pick them up, you can't really get rid of them unless you actually use up their meter. So, yeah, I think that gets solved in the next game where you can drop an angel arm if you taunt. Yeah, so this map is huge and it's kind of hard to get around, so I have all these weird tricks for moving a bit faster than running. Okay, so up on top of this bridge, there's another Alfheim, and hopefully this one is not as annoying as the last one. Okay, so this one doesn't really have any conditions. You just have to kill all the enemies in 4 minutes, and looks like you only get 3 hits, so... Ah, crap, here are these things again. Yeah, and the reason I don't like them is like, well, yeah, well, A, they can just shoot you like a turret, and then B, they're just rolling around so quick that, it's actually, pardon me, it's actually quite difficult to hit them. Yeah, and then, like, I don't know, I just kind of give up and shoot them, but, you know, that doesn't really get you a good score. And also, like, a lot of your Wicked Weaves tend to miss them. Okay, so I'm going to use my Torture attack to get this Angel weapon, and because it just does such a good job of, you know, crowd control and then getting your meter really high. So... yeah, the primary way you make a lot of money in this game is actually by getting, like, the highest score on your meter as possible. Like, you can get, like, millions of halos, like, out of just, like, one fight. So that's why I'm picking up all these staffs. Yeah, because if I get the meter high enough, you can make a lot of money off of that. And that's pretty important at the beginning, so you can, like, unlock... damn it. You can unlock equipment and items and, you know, upgrades for your health bar and all that type of stuff. And weirdly enough, money kind of goes a long way in this game. Like even after you got, like, all the upgrades and weapons and stuff, you can still use money to, like, purchase unlockables and stuff like that. So I think there are some items that cost, like, ah, damn it. Yeah, there are some items in the game that just cost like 1,000,000 halos or more and stuff like that. Ah, crap. Yeah, that attack kind of came out suddenly and caught me off guard. Yeah, we're gonna try that again. Yeah, so the deers and decorations, they can kind of throw up a shield when they're in formation, but you can just keep hitting it to kind of break it, and then they'll be vulnerable after that. Oops. Oh, Jesus. God, I didn't notice that other one trying to shoot me like that. I just fell on his face. Oh, whoops. Yeah, these enemies, like, they're kind of HP sponges a little bit, but you gotta be careful because they can... Oh. Man, I canceled the attack by dodging out of it. Yeah, but watch out for those bigger enemies, like, they look slow, but they're really not. They can attack really quickly, so just be on your toes around them. I am having a really hard time slimming this guy. Yes, look at that meter go. God, freaking Christ. Yeah, and a good thing to practice in this game is that, like, most of your combos will have a Wicked Weave at the end with pretty long recovery time. But you can always cancel out of that recovery time by using a dodge, so make sure you take advantage of that. Yeah, so here comes a Beloved, and like a really fantastic attack to use against them is the Afterburner kick.
You want to touch me?
So you can do that by sliding from jump to kick on your controller, and God, it just does pretty good grinding damage against them. It's pretty good. Alright, so we finally completed that. Let's get out of here. God, that is so damn cool. Yeah, there's the afterburner kick. And that's heel stomp. It's kind of the kick equivalent of Tetsuzanko. Yeah, I totally pronounced that incorrectly in the last video. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so you can do Tetsuzanko or the heel stomp by doing a back forward kick or punch. And basically, well, it's a really like strong attack. But if you have magic, then it uses one orb to do basically an instant wicked leap. So it can be pretty useful. Yeah, it can be... God, what's the camera doing here? Yeah, you can basically use it to snipe if you want, which can get pretty interesting if you use weapons other than the shotgun and the handguns, because when you start getting a higher variety of weapons, they all do different kinds of wicked weaves. But out here, a bunch of goddamn enchants. I hate these things. Yeah, so they're just running all over the place, and they're a little hard to catch, and also, like, you know, they start enclosing themselves in fire, and you can't really touch them, so that's why it gets a little weird. Holy fucking crap. just fly in a loop like that? God damn it. Alright, here's that beloved from before, the one that ran away. Yeah, so I'm just hitting him in that weak spot he has on his back. But when you weaken him enough, he's going to call a second beloved, and they're both going to attack you at the same time. Alright, one down. Yeah, and you can also do the mid-air bullet climax to do, like, pretty good damage to them. Whoa. Yeah, I forgot he can do that. So, yeah, be careful if you're hitting the weak spot, because he's got some pretty good anti-air, like, attacks that might hit you. Yeah, when you weaken a beloved enough, you can just knock them around like crazy. It looks pretty awesome. Jesus. It's so goopy. Alright, so after you kill those two beloved, it actually drops a golden LP, and it unlocks a new weapon, which is Sharaba. And Sharaba is like a magic katana. The Sharaba is such a fucking fantastic weapon. So if you can get to the gates of hell, you can unlock that and start using it as soon as you can. God, like so many fantastic memories with Sharaba. Anyway, what I did here is I actually backtracked way to the beginning of the area, and yeah, that's the parry right there. So after you fight those two beloveds, you can run back all the way to the beginning, and there's another Alpine here. I don't know why they decided to do that. I found it kind of annoying, so I went ahead and fast forwarded to the part where I fast forwarded through where I was running back to it. Anyway, this Alpine, you only have a few minutes, and you have to get 6 torture attacks. And after you get the 6, you have to kill everybody. So it's quite a difficult challenge. So what I'm using here is the long taunt, and you can get about 4 orbs of meter. Whoa. Yeah, so as you can see there, you can basically dodge and parry at the same time. And if you time the parry, just like you can time the dodge, you can get witch time off of it. And it gives you like a shitload of meter too. Yeah, so right here what I'm doing is I'm just using light attacks against them to try to gain meter. And I'm avoiding using Wicked Weaves because like, it's gonna like just do a lot of damage to them, and I might not be able to get off enough like torture attacks in time. Yeah, so I'm basically just like using the attacks which I think will gain the most meter for me. God, that parry is so awesome. Yeah, I remember when I was like more practiced with the game and God damn it. And I was actually, I was trying to unlock the siphon, which are the nunchuck weapons with the revolvers in them. And to get the siphon, you have to play 100 missions, like above the easy difficulty, and that will unlock the siphon for you. So to do that, I was actually playing a mission against a boss where, like, that was actually the fastest mission I could complete, and I was so good with the parry at that point where I was basically fighting the boss without taking any damage at all. It was pretty fun. Yeah, so hopefully when we get to that point in the story, I'll be able to show that to you guys too. Alrighty, so, man, that was rough. Yeah, so we got off our 6th torture attacks. I actually got off a 7th. We killed all the enemies, like, in time. Alright. God, man, took a lot of damage there. Okay, so... God, I love the load screens. They just look so nice. And the fact that you can practice your combos are pretty cool. Yeah, this is a move that I like a lot. So if you hold down the dodge button, like you just like do that breakdancing windmill move, and I don't know, it just looks cool. Really neat for crowd control. Yeah, so I'm going to fast forward to the part where we're going to run off to where we need to be. Okay, so in this area, I think I'm breaking these benches because I'm seeing if they're going to drop me any healing items. But yeah, there are some statues for activating Witch Time, but don't use that yet. We're going to run down here to these 2 enemies. And for some reason, these 2 enemies, they're just like complete jerks, so I'm just being as cheap as possible. Yeah, so I just insta-killed one with a torture attack, and I'm using its angel weapon to kill the second guy. Yeah, and that wall bridge right there is the reason why you need those statues up the stairs to activate Witch Time. Yeah, so killing those 2 enemies will repair the statue. Okay, so... no damage. Oh, God damn it. Missed the jump. Alright, so when you get up here, you can jump above this tree right here and get another broken witch heart. Okay, and now we can get back to the statues and activate Witch Time. Okay, so pick up the statue, and we're not going to activate it right away. We need to run back down to the bridge. Okay, and about at this time, like, you can unlock the Shrapa, so I went ahead and switched over to it. Okay, so this bridge only sits here for like half a second, so you need Witch Time to get across. Okay, there are some benches here. I'm just gonna break them to see if I can get any health out of them. I don't think I do, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, so the Shrapa is a lot better at closing distance. The combos are done fairly similarly to the Scarborough Affair, but yeah, you should be able to see the differences in, you know, when you're looking at the combo page.
Who's there? quite enough hide and seek, my scurrying little friend. Just a child? What are you doing running around Vigrid? You're certainly not dressed in your Sunday best.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words,
Alright, so here's a kind of a semi-boss fight, and this giant dragon is sticking his face through this window, so, it's basically sort of a, god damn it, it's a bit of an HP sponge, so just kind of do as much damage to it as possible. And, god, I normally never even get hit by this thing, but it's using some attacks that are sort of strange. Yeah, don't get hit by that fireball, it's kind of hard to time. I think it's because I'm actually standing at the left of the dragon head, and normally I stand on the right. Like, a lot of its attacks don't really hit in that direction. So, funnily enough, like, this kind of semi-boss fight right here, you can actually use it as a trick to make, like, a lot of money. And maybe I'll show you guys that later on. But yeah, we don't have the proper equipment to do that right now. Yeah, so right here... yeah, we're just trying to do as much damage as we can, and when we get the bar down far enough, the fight ends, and don't miss this because you'll die instantly. But yeah, it's always gonna be the shoot button. God, I got killed by that so many goddamn times, but yeah, just have that memorized. It's gonna be shoot. Man, I took a lot of hits like this chapter. Okay, let's see how we did. Got a lot of silvers in there. Yeah, I ought to redo this for a better score sometime. Yeah, so this chapter, it really ramped up in difficulty compared to the previous one, so hopefully I can bring my A game to the next time, we record a chapter. Yeah, I can't wait to get more practice with the Sharaba. I really miss using that weapon. Holy crap, that is a lot of bullets. Yeah, so Chapter 2 has like a lot of hidden unlockables and Alfheims and stuff. So if you're looking to get a good score in Angel Attack, this is a good way to do it. Oh, God, I don't know why you even try to shoot those things. It's a waste of time. Yeah, so with a good stock of bullets, you can get a really good score in here. And of course, like the best way to score is to, we're going to try to get headshots on these angels. And if you can get consecutive kills, your score is just amazing. From doing that. Ah, man. Yeah, he's a little too far in the distance. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna wait for them to respawn. Oh, oops. Good enough. What was the score? 221. Wow, I think that's the highest I've ever scored in this Angel Attack minigame. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but I'm just going to exchange it for money. And yeah, 22,000 is a lot. That's pretty good. Oh boy. Man, guys, that was a long one, but yeah, that will do it for now. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we'll be back for the next chapter. Thanks.